Hey everybody, welcome back to my podcast, Life Under the Moon, episode 12. I am your host, Sammy B, and today we are celebrating the full moon in Capricorn. Now, we're not going to touch too much on that because last episode we really dove into the moon flavor. So today we're going to just focus on the next 2 weeks of our emotions. Let's get those emotions in check. And remember that this new theme for the next 2 weeks is to focus on our challenges and recognize that those challenges are gifts and both blessings. So remember that. It is incredibly hard. Trust me. I feel like I've been going through my fair share of trials and tribulations over the last couple months, maybe couple years, but for sure the last couple months. It's felt very overwhelming and very heavy, and I'm learning and teaching to myself that it is very important to realize that these challenges aren't happening to me, they're happening for me. So, let's begin today's topic of creating a new norm. What does that even mean? Well, what we just talked about is sort of the same thing, creating a new norm. It is now going to be normal for us to view the challenges in our life as a blessing, as a gift, whereas most people do not view challenges as a blessing or a gift. But I promise you, if you practice this and incorporate it into your daily life, you will live a more fulfilling, rich, and successful life, because now you're not letting challenges and setbacks hold you back. You are now going forward. You are now taking everything that is coming to you with a positive attitude, with a positive mindset. What does that mean? It means you're going to be attracting more and more positive things to happen to you. This is something that I think we all could use a little bit more in our life on. Now, for me, life has been rough. It's been actually probably some of the hardest couple last weeks in certain situations in my life than I've ever experienced. I'm not gonna lie, it feels like my life is cursed, and it feels like almost everything around me is going wrong. Everything's breaking. Everything's just not where it should be. The most important thing I can think of is that I have the health of myself and my family, and they are okay, and they are happy, and they are healthy, and they are alive. And to me, that is the most important part. And everything else comes second. Everything else doesn't even matter when it comes to wondering if my family and friends are safe and alive. That is the number one thing. And as long as I have that, I have everything. But because we are human and live in the material world, that makes things a lot more complicated. So, yeah, my life in the material world has been falling apart, and it is super hard and difficult to tell myself that everything is going to be okay when I feel like I can't even make one step forward, 10 steps back, because I'm not even able to make one step forward because I'm just going 1,000 steps backwards. Everything I try to do, it just makes it worse, and it's been very difficult. But this is the perfect time to practice being positive in our challenges. So I want you to focus on the next challenge that comes your way. Maybe you're already going through that challenge. Think about it. Start with one and go from there. Because I guarantee you, every single challenge is a blessing. You just have to look for it. And sometimes you won't actually ever really find it. Sometimes you'll forget about it, and the answer will eventually come to you, but maybe you don't realize it. I mean, the death of a loved one, I think, is probably one of the hardest things to see a positive outcome. And I get that. I have experienced deaths of loved ones, and it is hard to see the positive. But trust me, there is magic and mystery behind what the universe is doing for us. And you have to believe, and you have to trust. So I was getting ready the other morning and I stopped and I took a look around my tiny house on wheels. And I felt a sense of joy and pride because I built this house with my own two hands, with my own money, my hard-earned money. And I felt so proud. I felt like nothing could take this away from me. Like this was mine. And then it got me thinking, why is society bringing us to believe that it is normal to have a $300,000 mortgage or to be in debt for, say, $100,000 for school? Why is it normal for somebody to say, we got a mortgage, we got a house, it's 3,000 square feet, and our mortgage is $600,000, and people congratulate you because of that? Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but why is that normal? Have we ever stopped to actually think about the fact that it is normal to be $500,000 in debt? I don't think so. I don't think that's normal at all. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we putting this excess amount of stress on our life when we can actually go forward and be free from debt and have the most incredible life without a 3,000 square foot house and the most incredible life without a $300,000 mortgage hanging over our heads? Because with that mortgage comes responsibility. And with that responsibility means that we need a good paying job to get that mortgage paid off. And if we don't have that good paying job, well, goodbye to your house because you don't own that house. The bank does. So now you're stressed out about your job. And maybe it doesn't make you happy because now you need to find a job that pays the bills, not one that pays for your positivity, that pays for your happiness, that pays for your time here on earth, which is so limited. Why is it normal? Can somebody answer that question for me? Because it's not. Society wants us to believe that that is normal. And if you don't have a $300,000 mortgage, like I don't, then there's something wrong with you. I've seen so many people frown upon my lifestyle because I don't have a washing machine. I don't have running water. I don't have a house over 1,000 square feet. Why? Because I don't think it's normal to have something that is completely unaffordable. I don't want that for myself. I've never wanted that for myself. I've always desired to have freedom. And maybe that's not for everybody, but I do believe that everybody on this planet wishes to be happy. And I don't think having a job that you hate hanging over your head just for the simple fact that you need to pay a bill is very healthy. And I don't think that that's going to bring you true happiness. And I mean, unless your dream in life is to own a house, that is only attainable through a mortgage, and that is your biggest dream in your entire life, then I say go for it. If there's a means, there's a way. And I give you full praise. But I don't think that's the case for most people. I think most people see society and say, to be successful, I need a nice fancy car, I need a nice big tidy house, and I need a good paying job. It doesn't matter if I'm happy. Those are the requirements in order to be seen as normal in society. But I don't want to be normal. And if you're listening to this podcast, maybe you feel the same way. So let's create a new norm, everybody. Let's create a life that we actually want to live. The life that we have always desired. What is that to you? Feel free to write that question down and come back to it throughout the day. See it on a sticky note, see it on a piece of paper. Ask yourself that question. What is your dream life? What is that life that you truly desire? Or just think about it right now in your head. What's the first thing that pops up in your head? Because I guarantee you that that is the answer. Before you second guess yourself, before you have a chance to get your brain activated and fired up, That's your instinct. That's your heart telling you what you really truly want. And this is my sign to you to go after it. And with that being said, this is the point of our podcast where we take a listener's wish, dream, desire, and we all manifest for the next 2 weeks on making this person's sweet, sweet dreams come true. Today, I want to manifest for all of us to find that deep desire dream. And I want us to light that dream on fire in a good way. I mean, ignite it. I mean, make it present. And let's go plant that seed. Let's go help it grow. It is summer where I'm recording this, and it may be summer for where you are too. Let's go plant the seed of our dream and make the most of our life and make our dreams come true with our life under the moon.